Hi, my name is Thomas Johnson, and I'm the founder and CEO of GetUpNGetFit Wellness Coaching Concierge. I'm also a C-suite advisor and investor, and you're listening to the How May I Serve You podcast, where I'm constantly on the quest to surround myself with the best coaches while learning how to better serve our executive clientele by asking them, How may I serve you? Today's show is sponsored by GetUpNGetFit. GetUpNGetFit will be providing students with textbooks and school supplies in Cambodia in honor of our guests, as well as our philanthropic mission to impact at least 50,000 people per year. And today's guest is Cara Heilmann. Cara, how are you doing?
I am fine. How are you? So glad
Uh,
to be here.
yes, indeed. It's good to have you. So, before we jump on the podcast, I was telling Cara how it's an honor to interview another president because yesterday I got the chance to interview a Liberian presidential candidate, and today I get the chance to interview Cara, who is the president of the International Association of Career Coaches. Big dog. Okay, there we go. So, the International Career Coaches is a global consortium of professional career coaches and founder of Ready Reset Go. So she's doing two big things right now. She's the president of two amazing companies. She's also a recognized expert and has been featured in Forbes and the Wall Street Journal. Cara is a best-selling author of three books, not one, not two, but three books. The Art of Finding the Job You Love, Confessions of the Accidental Career Coach, and Ready, Set, Go. She also co-authored with world-renowned author Brian Tracy. Cara, wow, doing big things.
Thank you.
So, Cara, let's dive right into your lifestyle because I'm pretty sure our audience would like to know who is Cara. So, who are you? Where you from? How you got started? Give me the 2 minute
Mm.
version.
A 2 minute version. Well, I'm a local girl in Hawaii. I grew up in Hawaii and left to go to school in Nashville, Tennessee, at a
Okay.
university called Vanderbilt University. And there I met my husband, Edgar, and he was from Brazil. And we went all over bi-coastal, settled in Miami, and then came to California. And that's where we are now. We're in the Bay Area.
Nice, nice. It seems like you like the tropical weather, right? The heat.
Oh, definitely. So when it gets when it gets a little chilly here, I start complaining about it, and my friends and family who are in New York or people that are in Toronto or different places, they're like, "Oh my gosh, woman, you have no idea. You have no idea what cold is like."
Yes, indeed. So Cara, why did you get into coaching in the first place?
Yeah. Really interesting story because I thought I hit the pinnacle of my career and I was absolutely miserable. So
Mm,
here I am. Imagine this: I'm at the top floor of a building in Oakland, California, working for a large healthcare organization, and I'm looking out of my window. That is floor to ceiling, beautiful window next door to the CEO of our organization, outside executive assistant. And you would think that I hit the pinnacle of my career,
mm,
and I was very miserable, miserable. So I left 20 years of talent in human resources, talent acquisition to start my own organization. And so now I help leaders and emerging leaders land into positions where they can have a greater impact in this world. And I teach career coaches to do the same through
mm.
the International Association of Career Coaches.
Yes, indeed. So, how did you come upon the International Association of Career Coaches? Because now you're the president
Mhm,
of this huge company.
mhm.
How did you get to that point?
There's this woman who's the executive director, Christy Watts, who has a significant years of experience in nonprofit work, and she was building this organization. And one of the things of which that we wanted to do, or she wanted to do, was to instill an education or educational component into the International Association of Career Coaches. And
Okay.
she knew that I had a certification or accreditation program.
Hmm.
And so the acquisition of both the senior professional career coach and the master professional career coach moved from my organization, Ready Reset Go, to the International Association of Career Coaches so that we could add. the technical skills, technical expertise for individuals who wanted to become career coaches, because it's really a trifecta of skills. One
Right.
would be this technical aspect. What are the nuances? What are the skills that are required for individuals to find positions? Then there's a mindset component as
Mm-hmm.
well, because there's very little positive things about getting a new job. Very little, except the offer. Think about it. It's a lot of feeling of being judged and looked at under the microscope. So the second component would be mindset, and the third would be an entrepreneurial aspect of it as well. As
Mm-hmm.
we as career coaches need to establish our own businesses, I came from a background of talent. I don't have a sales and marketing background.
Mm-hmm.
And so we needed to provide those types of services for career coaches. Unless they came from that background, most individuals have come from either leadership, executive leadership, human resources, recruiting to get into the field of career coaching. A lot of life coaches have
Mm-hmm.
become career coaches
Oh,
as
wow.
well.
Okay.
So our association provides those three skills: the technical expertise, the mindset, and also the entrepreneur business.
Wow, that's a trifecta right there.
Trifecta.
So Kara, I mean, I love the name of your company, Ready, Reset, Go. How did you come up with this name?
Yes. Oh my gosh. When I first started my own business, it was called, now don't laugh, Starting Line Resumes, because I
Okay.
was a runner. I'm a runner. And Starting Line Resumes, my entire website was around the images of finish line and hurdles and it's a marathon, not a sprint. All those things. And that was going for quite a long period of time. Then I met a woman in San Francisco, Eat My Words, where she had this organization to help companies name things.
Oh, wow.
So I worked with her, an incredibly talented team, to help me name my organization. It was such a fun, creative process. And it came up with Ready, Reset, Go. And then took it from that point and got an S Corp and all the things in order to uh, um, make that my name for the organization.
Yes, indeed. And as a former track athlete, I appreciate your name, your company's name.
Right. And a lot of it is a reset. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've worked in a long period of time and you feel like, okay, this is getting a little stale, it's getting a little old, and I feel like I'm making the right impact that I want to be making in the world. And so I need a reset. And sometimes you don't want to leave the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want to get a promotion, or you want to get a broader reach within your company. And yet, we know this when we start in a company, sometimes the vision of who we are, it gets cemented somehow in the minds of others. And how do we reset that for ourselves and them so they see us in a different way?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you because we become creature of habits, right? We are habitual creatures, and once we're doing the same thing over and over, it becomes part of us. So by resetting, you're helping to rewire their mindset, which is
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
Hmm. Hmm. And for each person, it's completely different.
Hmm.
Some people, I can say, well, you want to be a CEO? Well, get over and do it. And they're like, you're right. You're right. And that's what other people, if I said that, they would be like, oh, I'm even more discouraged. So the second piece of the mindset coaching is really important when you're working with folks, understanding and meeting them where they're at in the moment.
Yes, indeed. So, I mean, I love your approach to coaching, but I have to ask you this, right? Um, there are different types of coaching styles, right? There are different
Sure.
approaches. How will you differentiate what you do as a coach and even a president of an organization compared to others?
Hmm. Right. Um, we have career coaches from across the globe, from Spain to Zimbabwe to Toronto to Tokyo, and all throughout the United States,
Mm,
each one with an incredibly unique niche. And the niche is critically important in developing their business. A- And what each coach does is they integrate who they are, their personality, their loves into their business. And
Okay.
that is the way to make it a unique and genuine approach to building their own practice. There are some career coaches that are phenomenal on like YouTube or on video.
Hmm.
And so their expertise is really leaning towards how do we help clients have that executive presence, that gravitas that they need in order to present themselves. So that is their draw um, uh, as they go to market, or the types of clients of which they support and serve. There are others who are phenomenal writers. So the creation of the dossier, the resume, cover letter, LinkedIn profile, the portfolio, the creation of the dossier becomes their draw. And
Mm.
and some people even have niches around levels of where you are within your career. They love working with high school graduates who want to go into a vocational occupation and land a phenomenal job. They work with college graduates that are for the first time going out and trying to find a position here in this really crazy market. Mid-level, senior level, retired, a tremendous amount of individuals who are air quotes retired, who want to continue to contribute in a very sizable way in the world. And so you have coaches depending on their heart and their love of
Hmm.
how they come to market. That is key. We need to show up completely, wholly, uniquely ourselves.
Mm.
And through that, people are incredibly attracted to who we are. And then we can serve at a genuine level.
Yeah, because you're being authentic.
Hmm.
There's nothing greater than being authentic, right? It draws you. A person that's real, that's honest, will always attract more clientele and more people just in general because they're being themselves. They're not sugarcoating anything. They're being honest. They're being raw.
Right? No saccharine sweet. Exactly. It's
Exactly.
magnetic. When someone is coming, have you ever met someone who they're like totally comfortable in their own skin? Oh my gosh, they're so magnetic. You just want to sit there and listen to them and engage with them. And so those concepts, absolutely, as entrepreneurs of having our own businesses, how do we become totally, wholly, utterly magnetic and being
Hmm.
who we are in ourselves? And that translates into getting a job.
It does.
How do we help individuals at all stages of their career be magnetic so that employers look at you and they want more of you? They can't wait to talk to you again. They can't wait to introduce you to other people in the organization and bring you on board. That is so key. There's so much information out there on the internet I think it just leads people the wrong way
Fluff.
because right, it's all these gimmicks and tricks and things. It's none of that at all. And it's critically important to work with a career coach that knows that and can really draw and pull out your uniqueness in the interview process so that you can be that magnetic candidate.
Yes, indeed. And Kara, by the way, I
Mm.
love your passion. I love your passion because you're radiating right now. You're like the female version of me. Yeah, I love your passion.
I know, I was so excited for this conversation. I'm like, yes, because being on other I'm just gonna say being on other shows and other things, it really matters on a host. And I'm like, couldn't wait for this conversation because of you. And I know your passion and your excitement and what you do. So this is going to be a fantastic fa- podcast or video cast.
Yes, indeed.
So
Definitely,
thank you.
definitely. You're very welcome. So now I'm going to have you put your foot in the shoe of I guess a prospect, right? A prospective clientele. So if someone were looking for a coach, what traits would you advise them to look for?
Mhm. Number one, figure out what kind of coach you need, what type of coach you need. There's a lot of ambiguity or opaqueness as far as a coach. If you are looking for someone who can help you understand what you're meant to do vocationally in this world and find that job, That's a career coach. If you're looking for someone that wants to help you really shine within your current profession so that you can make a greater impact, that's a career coach. And identify what type of coach you need first. And then, if you do need a career coach, it's so clear. Look for someone with that trifecta, someone with the technical skills that would be able to help you all along the job search process. These are skills, unlike other coaching where they don't consult. There's some coaching that bring out things from you. They never tell you what to do. That's very different in career coaching. We're very directive on what the steps you need to take in order to get that job. The second piece, mindset. Someone who comes to your meetings enthusiastic, cheerleader, help you get around your own mindset triggers that you may have.
Mm.
And then the third piece, someone with a thriving business. That's so critical. So when you're meeting with someone, when you know you need a career coach, look for those three aspects. What's your credentials around understanding the nuts and bolts of finding a position? Typically, it would be a certification or years of experience or something along those lines. Second, mindset. Is this someone who will bring out the best in you? Right? That
Mm.
understands you, will hold the safe space for you so that you can share things that you never would share with anyone else. And then the third piece, do they have their own thriving coaching business? Because if they're going to help you thrive in your business, then they ought to be able to do that for themselves and modeling that for themselves.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, drop the mic. Drop the mic. Yeah. So, Kara, now we are at the parts of the podcast where you get to shine, right? This is like my favorite part of the podcast. It's storytelling time. I want you to give me a 2 to 3 minute success story where you're able to take one of either your coach, one of your coaches, or one of your client above and beyond their obstacle. Okay, I want you to paint me that picture. Share that story with me really quickly.
Mhm. There's this woman that I've met a few years ago, and she knew she loved to help people. She was a vice president of a like a retail chain,
Okay.
and she always loved helping individuals. She took a certification course at her university or college around career placement and felt like, okay, that was a little bit of what I needed, but it wasn't quite what I needed. And then somehow landed on our senior professional career coach certification course, and we chatted about it, and the pieces of which that she was missing from that was definitely the mindset and also how do you develop your own business.
Mm.
So she went through the senior professional career coach and then immediately went into what we call the path to the master's program, the path to the master professional career coach, and within 3 months hit her revenue targets. Her revenue target was to be 6 figures within her first year of starting a business. And so within 3 months, she was on track to hit that.
Three
And
months.
what is a secret to success? What is our secret to success? We are individuals with our own successful businesses. And we've created this consortium, this cohort, International Association of Career Coaches. We are not competing against one another. We are a cohort of like-minded individuals where we actually share leads, we share ideas, and we're talking about things that have worked for us in our marketplace freely. That's very important for us. We do not want someone to come into the International Association of Career Coaches and compete against us. That's not our intent, and that is not who we are. So we have all these individuals in different markets across the globe who are sharing their expertise of what's going on in their own markets. So powerful. That's one story. Another story was an individual who is near here within the Bay Area. She went through the senior professional career coach accreditation and then decided, I'm going to DIY it. I'm going to do it myself. And she started to have her own clients and noticed that she wasn't able to get the flywheel going. That's what I call it. You put in a lot of personal, tremendous amount of grit
Hmm.
doing it all yourself, you get the flywheel going, you start generating revenue, then you can hire individuals to come in, professionals, and take some things off of your plate so that your business can continue to grow, hire staff now, and your organization grows as your impact grows. She decided to do it herself. A year later, she was doing some part-time work with some outplacement organizations and burning out completely. I think they were paying her like dollars per hour, really small amount. And uh, a year later, she came back and she goes, "Okay, I told you I didn't want to do the path. I'm in. I'm all in. I'm in. Let's do it." So she came in, and within her fourth month, she goes, "I can't believe this. I'm going to say this. I'm hitting revenue at like I think it was 14,000. I'm hitting revenue, monthly revenue at 14,000. I can't believe it. Can't believe these words and numbers are coming out of my mouth." And I want to be really clear here. We're not here to be billionaires. That is not our calling at all. Our calling here is to provide a fundamental dignity of individuals to put food on the table. There's a tremendous amount of dignity of working. That is our passion at the International Association of Career Coaches, that we help people feel better about what they're doing, have passion around their work, and be able to put food on the table and do extra things with your life, like go on that trip that you really wanted to do. So that couple of stories there as far as the impact that we've been able to have at the IACC.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are definitely making huge impact. Especially it's funny because us as entrepreneurs and business owners, we think we could do it all by ourselves until we hit that roadblock, right? Until we get like smacked in the face, then we realize, okay, I need help. I need to go back to the experts. So we all have that aha moment. So it seems like you guys are really doing a great job with coming together with all these various career coaches and highlighting the best practices. And you guys are doing it in a cohort manner, which is amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, really are. They're definitely best practices, Thomas, like you were saying, and practices that we are realizing in the moment. When the pandemic hit, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, when the pandemic hit, we're thinking, how is this going to affect what we're doing and what's going on? So many of us pivoted in such incredibly impactful ways where they started to work through their faith-based organizations and doing free job search programs, and so many different ways in which we pivoted, I guess is the word or the term during those times, and met the moment. And when you're part of an organization that supports one another, you hear about these ideas and you implement them real time. Another really important thing that I definitely want to say is we're in a business of coaching. If you don't have a coach, are you really a coach? So you need to put your money where your
No,
mouth is
here you
and
go.
get your own coach. So within our organization, we strongly believe that every single coach needs a coach.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I ask coaches this question all the time. Who's your coach? So who's your coach? And depending on how they respond, I'm able to get a better understanding of how they operate. So
Right.
you're absolutely on point. So we're on the same path in terms of understanding. Kara, I know you're a passionate person. It radiates off you. But what drives you? I mean, what's your intrinsic why?
Hmm.
Why are you why are you doing this? Why are you pushing for this organization to be a success? What drives
Yep.
you?
When I was standing there at the top of that building looking over Lake Merritt, utterly miserable, I
Hmm.
worked with a coach to understand what is next for me in my life. I pulled together all the things that I loved about the 20 years of my profession, and I built a career around it. And I knew at that moment that I was meant to do some very big things in this world, some big things to help. Back then, I said hundreds of thousands of individuals. I said, I'm going to give myself a goal 250,000 people that they will be able to find jobs that they love. And I knew quickly on, if I'm by myself, I'm not going to be able to hit that 250,000. I need to build a coalition of people
Mm.
who believe just like me that they want to help individuals have that dignity of work, putting food on the table, and enjoying the vocation that they have. And so, thus, the senior professional career coach, our cohort, and the vision of the International Association of Career Coaches, seeing the importance of creating an entity and an organization such like that. So, what drives me is I truly believe this is what God put me on the earth to do, is to help people put food on the table. And that is critically important. And so any way in which of how me and how I'm made up can do that, that is the expression of my work today here on earth. With that, so important. If you are listening to this and you're wondering, what is my big why? How important it is to work with a career coach to help you identify what it is, because it is that long horizon view, right? That long there's this individual. He's a neuroscientist out of Yale Medical, and he talks about why is it that when I work on something, sometimes I'm working on something in an hour and it feels like only a minute has gone by. Why is it sometimes I'm working on something and I'm working on it for an hour and it feels like 10 hours have gone by? An hour is an hour. What happened there? What happened in our brain that made something fly and made something so difficult? It's because we lack that long horizon view. When we have that long horizon view, when we know clearly what we're meant to do, put on this earth to do, all the little things just fly. They're just little. And we're constantly moving towards that one north star, that goal that we feel in our soul what we're meant to do. That's why,
Yes,
that's where my
indeed.
passion comes from. Sitting down with a coach, figuring out what that big why was, crystallizing that and going, absolutely, this is what I'm meant to do. Then building a world around me so that I can achieve that. And when I'm there at the pearly gates, that it was like I did what I believed that I was meant to do in this world. And that is the long horizon view.
Yes, indeed. I felt that. I felt that. Kara, you sure you're not a keynote speaker or like a motivational speaker? Because like right now you're inspiring right now. You're inspiring myself and other individuals. I don't need a job, but if I see I want to work with your company. Uh,
And we are connected now, Thomas, and that's how it goes, right? We are all trees in this forest, and we are absolutely connected under the roots, under the earth through our roots. And the more of what you're doing and connecting other executives and CEOs through you, you are this tall tree in a beautiful forest, and now all these other trees are popping up around you, and our roots are all connected. So well done. It's through what you're doing as well. And now we're forever connected. We'll see, how do we do this? How do we make magical things happen here for other people? Positive things, very positive things for them, and combat all the negative things that are happening in the world.
yes, indeed. I agree with you 100%. So, Kara, are you currently working on any new projects, any new books, any new programs that you can share with us right now? Because I know you wrote 3 books, 4 books actually, because you co-authored one with Brian Tracy.
Hmm. Right. So definitely, and I've talked with my publisher, and I call it I'm pregnant with another book, and I'm birthing another book. Uh,
Okay.
because it's a joyous and painful experience. It's both joy and pain. There's so much of exposing who I am, a fear that's there when you write a book. And so yes, I'm in the middle of writing another book, and this book is about how do you truly be who you are, all of you,
Mm,
in this world. And that's all I'm going to say, because you'll see it when it comes out. And there's this little uh, embryo that's also developing, and it's around executive presence. No matter what level you are within the organization, how do you develop executive presence? And that's another little book that's being formed as well. Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's currently pending right now. I'm looking forward to that one. So, if someone were to inquire about your services or wants to learn more about, your coaching cohort, um, where can it find you?
hmm the best place would be on a website, which is iacareercoaches.org.
Okay.
IACC, right? It's the International Association of Career Coaches. So iacareercoaches.org. And there you can find us. You can find all that we're doing, all the things that we're building in the world. You can see a listing of some of our top career coaches there as well. Peruse, take a look around. And there are email addresses that you can just click on and have a conversation with us.
Awesome.
Especially if
Awesome.
you're thinking about, you know what, this is sounding amazing. I want to do that as well. I want to make a really big impact in the world through helping people land amazing jobs.
Awesome. So how about if someone were to, they want to connect with you because you are an amazing person, you are passionate, you are energetic. Are you also active on social media?
Sure. And you can find me. I'm on Twitter and also LinkedIn because we're in a business of finding jobs and networking through jobs. So I'm also on LinkedIn as well. And it would be the piece, the last piece would be my name, Cara Heilmann, when you are looking for me within LinkedIn.
Awesome. Great, great, great. So, Kara, thank you for coming on today's episode of How May I Serve You. Thank you for sharing, your story with us, sharing your passion, your drive. Because right now I am full. You have replenished my cup, right? You have
Mhm,
replenished my
mhm.
cup. And I also like to thank all of our listeners and viewers for lending us the ears and the eyeballs. And before you leave, I have one more question for you. And that question is, how may I serve you?
Amazing. Continue to do what you're doing, Thomas. This is incredible. What you're doing in reaching out and inspiring others through the hearts and souls of other executives and leaders that are out there. Continue to do that. That is fantastic. Thank you so much for what you do.
You're very welcome. Again, this is your host, Thomas Johnson. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to share it with someone else that will benefit. And make sure to tune in for next week's episode. Take care, be blessed, and cheers. We out.